By now we know the pattern in Judges. 1. Israel sins. 2. God allows an enemy to oppress them. 3. They cry out for help. 4. God raises up a deliverer. And here we go again. This time, the Midianites invade Israel. They steal crops, destroy livestock, and leave Israel starving. The Israelites are so afraid that they hide in caves. After subsequent 7 years of misery, Israel finally cries out to God for help. And God's first response? A prophet reminds them why they're in this mess, because they turned away from God. Now meet Gideon, Israel's future hero. But when we first see him, he's not fighting, he's hiding. He's secretly threshing wheat in a wine press, so the Midianites won't find him. Suddenly, the angel of the Lord appears and says, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Gideon is like, me? If God is with us, why are we suffering? But God isn't looking for excuses. He tells Gideon, "Go in the strength you have. I am sending you." Still unsure, Gideon asks for a manikunanon. He prepares an offering, and fire from heaven consumes it. That's when Gideon realizes, "I've seen the Lord." But God reassures him, "Do not be afraid, you will not die." Before Gideon can fight Midian, he has to clean up his own house first. God tells him, "Tear down your father's altar to Baal and build an altar to me instead." That's a bold command, because Gideon's own family and town worship Baal. So, at night, Gideon and his servants sneak out and destroy the altar. The next morning, the people are furious and demand his death. But Gideon's father, Joash, says, "If Baal is a real god, let him defend himself." From then on, Gideon is called Unarubal, meaning let Baal fight for himself. Gideon is finally stepping up as a leader. He gathers an army to fight Midian, but he's still unsure. So he asks God for another sign. He lays out a fleece of wool and prays, "If you are really with me, let the fleece be wet with dew, but the ground dry." The next morning, it happens, but Gideon still isn't convinced, so he asks God to do the opposite, and once again, God answers. Even though Gideon was doubtful, God was patient with him. Gideon gathers 32,000 men to fight Midian. But God says, "You have too many men. If you win, Israel will think they did it on their own." So God begins downsizing the army. 22,000 leave because they are afraid. 10,000 remain. But God says, "Still too many." God tests them at the water. Only 300 men. Stay, that's right. 300 men against an army of 135,000. But God is about to show that victory doesn't come from numbers. It comes from Him. That night, God tells Gideon, "If you're still afraid, sneak into the Midianite camp and listen." Gideon and his servant overhear a Midianite soldier's dream. A barley loaf rolling into camp and crushing a tent. The other soldier says, "This can only mean one thing. Gideon will destroy us." Encouraged, Gideon leads his 300 men into battle with trumpets, clay jars, torches. At midnight, they break the jars, blow the trumpets, and shout, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon." The Midianites panic and start killing each other. Israel wins without even drawing a sword. Gideon and his men chase down the fleeing Midianites. They capture and kill the Midianite kings. Israel begs Gideon to be their king, but he refuses, saying, "The Lord will rule over you." But then, Gideon makes a mistake. He creates a golden ephod, a priestly garment from the spoils of war. The people start worshiping it, and it becomes a snare to Gideon's family. Gideon started strong, but in the end, Israel fell back into sin. And after Gideon's death, the cycle starts again